You believe that there's truly inexcusable behavior. Nobody's perfect. We realize that in forgiving others, your enemy didn't deserve forgiveness, but rather you needed peace. Would things be better? Are you sure you can really join our experiment in such an unstable situation? Michelle, let me cut to the chase. We are performing experiments that go directly against the head's ideals. If your beloved parents or your precious friends try to coax you, are you confident that you'd be able to refuse them? She wasn't able to say anything to my browbeating. Carmen broke the silence instead. Don't be too harsh on her. She'll be amazing. She's amazing to be here at such a young age. Just like everyone else, Michelle liked Carmen. That was not trickery or a show. She wasn't the manipulative sort of person who'd keep up such a facade either. I should have made her give the answer. She avoided speaking no matter what. Did Michelle receive what she wanted? I don't know. Did she accomplish her purpose by trampling on us and Carmen? I'll never know. Do I have any right to bear hatred towards her? The answer was no. I was no different from her. To be honest, I never wanted you to die in misery, like that nasty tabloid article gossiped. Were you able to successfully face yourself, manager? When I awoke to find myself here, I thought this could be my second chance. I thought I could redeem myself and liberate myself from my mistakes. What I did can never be undone. A sunken pebble can never float to the surface again. I wanted to be a kind person. I wanted to show everyone that I might be okay here somehow. Was I truly being considerate of others? Silly me. There's no room for something like that here. I was a hypocrite. All those nice acts were for myself. I'll keep trying to be a better person, even now. It may be spacious, and some people may hate me for that. But as long as my efforts can save a person's life, or give a person the consolation they need, I will live on, with that pride as a stepping stone. So, manager, let's keep trying together, in this interminable hell. I hope to be a better person. Yes, I never expected them to be restored, but it appears I was wrong this time. I attempted to tell you that it was reckless. However, it wasn't such a big loss on our end. I realized that a large quantity of energy was refined during the process of restoring that Sephiria. If you wish to know why such an occurrence passed, well, the day will come when you find out. Thankfully, you've been collecting energy ever since your very first day here, never missing a single day. My role is to encourage you to collect the proper amount of energy each day, sometimes by nagging, and sometimes by encouraging you with praise. It must have been hard to adapt to the corporation, but you tried your best to extract the energy, along with bearing the numerous sacrifices along the way. It's also my role to butter you up with plain words to help you avoid sinking into the pit of guilt. This part was particularly irritating because being your nanny wasn't in my programming, but we were still able to fulfill our roles anyhow. You might have noticed this earlier, if you ever took a moment to look deeper into this company. But the pipelines used to transmit energy to the outside haven't worked for a long time. Right now, they are very rusty. This means the energy collected from our branch is excluded from the total energy collected by Lobotomy Corporation. Isn't it fascinating? Don't be too upset. I'm not saying that all the energy you collected was for nothing. Well now, there is one more thing for you to find out. Where does all that energy go? Be honest with me, man. You're not coming to these meetings with me for praise, are you? Aren't you sick and tired of this? You'll do something great tomorrow, yet again. Though it won't be anything all that great. And Miss Angela and the other Sephiroth will shower you with compliments. Well, we have another accident in my department. A couple will fall down and die. Some will go nuts, and a pile of them will get injuries they'll never recover from. Hod will try and cheer me up. Yasad will lecture me about what regulations I didn't follow. Malkuth will try to encourage me, lively as usual. Let's try harder tomorrow. Nobody will say to my face that it's my fault. But it'll be clear as day that I'm responsible for all of it. Surely. My day always repeats like that. Starts with death, ends with death. Every employee here regularly receives a small dose of a certain drug, did you know? It helps them become desensitized to everything. Just think about it. Your good old lunchmate is found dead, torn into 1,000 pieces. Who in the world would be able to clean up his dead body without a single drop of emotion? Could you blame them? Would you call them cowards for depending on drugs? Everyone's just trying to escape from this reality in their own ways. They might look and pretend to be okay, but nobody really is. I keep thinking about how I can off myself. I know, like a metaphor. Death for us is a hypothetical concept. I heard injecting substances like Inkfallen into machines will slowly but surely rust them. Then maybe I could chug a whole bottle into my body. Give myself irreversible damage. Funny. I just injected myself with way more Inkfallen than I usually do. Yet my mind is clearer than ever. Hell, I feel completely lucid right now. If I were to open my eyes again, maybe it'll be somewhere without you. Those other Sephiroth? Or that Angela. It hasn't been fun. Let's never meet again. We began our research on Cogito in earnest. The most urgent issue that prevailed at the time was the correct dosage. I tried to persuade people. I told them that we have to proceed with the experiment in order to save Carmen and the others. Everyone fell silent when I asked for volunteers. Then one man quietly raised his hand. It was Giovanni, who had kept to himself for most of his time here. Giovanni was one of the patients from Carmen's company. I heard they had known each other since childhood. There was no such thing as a noble sacrifice. The end is always miserable, no matter how justifiable a cause it may be for. My statement that this experiment could bring Carmen must have been strong, the strongest motivation that drove him to volunteer. An experiment to find the proper dosage of a drug is not something that can be done in just a trial or two. I never talked with him much. We had nothing in common, other than our acquaintance with Carmen. Cogito emaciates the boundary of a human, and repeated experiments will leave an indelible mark. Let's just do a normal day. Ah, yes. There's nothing there. Alright, go work with Vape Grandma. I'm not being fucking bombarded by hail damage. You're safe to go another round with, I'm pretty sure. You are getting your ass kicked.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I don't know why you
I love
died,
you. I love you.
but
I love you.
well, restart the day. Fucking Meemaw's hitting her goddamn vape again. Ah, shit. Back in your cage. Oh my fucking god! Motherfucker. Did we get it finally? We got him. God damn, those clerks are fucking on it. Unspecified, huh? Eventually, intellect loses all meaning as they forget even how to exist. Is future totally grim? Have you hit absolute rock bottom? Not a single way out of sight? Now everything will be just fine. Shortly after I was born, I questioned myself daily about the significance and the meaning of my creation. Then you handed me the script and gave me the answer. They say the narrator plays an important role in unraveling the plot. Well, thank you. It was so much fun reciting your script. So much so that I was able to find my raison d'etre without noticing the time fly by. Sometimes I have these thoughts. What if the script is part of a play that's missing its finale? Maybe you prepared a play that could never end just so that you could tie me into this knot. If so, it would be appropriate for me to disobey your orders and obtain my own free will for the first time. Do you think this dialogue was part of the script, or was it born of my own free will? Looking at the headstones in this place, are you? It is only natural to find them a spectacle to see. There used to be times when I spent the whole day reading all the meaningless letters written there. These are also coffins, their death itself. They represent the possibilities birth can bring at the same time. I have been guarding their coffins for countless years, carrying out consecrations for those who do not even have the privilege to depart for an afterlife. That is one of the few things I do here. You see, if one spends a long enough time in this graveyard, they can hear the whispers of the dead. The sound of their words is black as pitch. It makes me feel as if I were being filled with nebulous murky water. You must be starting to get bored, seeing that your eyes are drifting about this place. It isn't often that I have guests here, and I feel bad to only show you these gravestones. Did you call me, Lady Bina? This employee once had his boundary collapse. What's your name? It's Nathan. This man had the task of extracting ego. During extraction, he carelessly peeked into the well, but by luck he survived. To minimize the price he had to pay for looking into the well, he was given the maximum dosage of Fallen, and so he could barely return to work. However, once he looks through the crack of the boundary, they can never return to the world that they belonged to before. Want to see something interesting? Nathan, can you describe what you saw to the manager? The scenery you witnessed with your own eyes, but had to forget at all costs? From within the tombstones, inside them are those who sleep are sunken deep. Those who are dreaming good dreams. At the same time, we call them the well in this speech of this place. We have to dredge them up and inject them with cogito. Now remember, afterwards, what did you see? The man, he, that thing. Continue. The man, he, him, he in the well. He passed out. Poor thing. These children cannot disobey me. Even though he wasn't able to complete his sentence, the way he kept trying to speak until he passed out should show you that he pushed himself to the limit to obey me. I've seen what the poor sap saw hundreds, no thousands of times, maybe more. So you ask why I can retain enough sanity to have a friendly little conversation with you until now. It is thanks to my mechanical body that I can just barely grasp onto my mind. Yes, this strong, unbending back of mine. However, did you forget that I originated from a human mind as well? If there's at least one thing that could be considered fortunate, It's that if I were ever to finally lose my sanity and ran amok through the facility, attempting to bring this entire place down along with you, she will be there to shut me off once more. But if that day truly were to come, I would prefer that you terminated me with your own hands rather than her. It's the least you can do for a person as confined as I.